Good morning, one and all. This is today's topic of my presentation, restriction endonucleases. Here are the learning objectives of our today's topic. Learning this restriction enzyme, you will be able to know its role, how they work, that is the enzymic activity, diversity of restriction enzymes, that is the type of restriction enzymes that are used, and applications in genetic engineering, that is how they are used routinely nowadays for genetic engineering experiments or for changing the genes of particular organisms. Introduction. Restriction enzymes, these are known as molecular seizures. These have restriction modification systems. Restriction enzymes are paired with the methylases, that is, this particular enzyme are paired with another enzyme and both work together. Methylases, these are the enzymes, as the name suggests, add methyl group to the specific nucleotide. And the restriction enzymes, these restrict particular DNA molecule that enters into the cell. Methylation prevents recognition by restriction enzymes. Therefore, within a cell, that doesn't destroy its own DNA. As we all know, cell's own DNA is always present in methylated form. Therefore, the cell which produces restriction enzymes cannot act on self-DNA. Cell can destroy only foreign DNA enters into the cell. Next is the enzymatic activity. So these restriction enzymes, they first scan for their recognition sequence. The sequence which is shown in bold is recognition sequence of particular restriction enzyme. Then when they bind here or they encounter the recognition sequence, within this sequence, these enzymes cleave the DNA molecule. Here you can see this particular DNA is fragmented using the restriction enzymes. These restriction endonucleases, they are also called as molecular seizures and they are discovered in bacteria. Bacteria produce these enzymes. There are various bacteria which produce these restriction enzymes, and these restriction enzymes have been isolated from these bacteria for use for different purposes, like for different biological experiments carried out in genetic engineering laboratories. These recognize and destroy foreign DNA. There are 3000 enzymes which have been identified from different organisms. These restriction enzymes, they cut specific base pair sequence, either 4 base pair sequence or 6 base pair sequence or 8 base pair sequence, and accordingly they are named as 4 base cutters, 6 base cutters and 8 base cutters. Remember, these restriction enzymes, they are recognizing even number sequence. They cut on both strands of the DNA, that is, not only the single strand of the DNA is cut, but both the strands, as we know DNA is double stranded, both the strands of the DNA within the particular sequence is cut. Then these enzymes, they allow the DNA of interest to be cut at specific locations, and cut yields either staggered end or sticky end, stagger ends are known as sticky ends and blunt ends. In next slide, we'll discuss what are the staggered or sticky ends and what are the blunt end types. Now, moving on to the type of the restriction endonucleases. Now, different organisms, they produce different types of restriction endonucleases. Now, these restriction endonucleases, that is the enzyme which cut within the DNA molecule. It is a type of nuclease. Another type of nuclease is exonuclease. These exonucleases, they cut DNA molecule from the sides. This is the difference between endo and exonucleases. So these restriction enzymes are types of endonucleases which cut the DNA molecule in between. Now here you can see there are 4 types of restriction enzymes: type 1, type 2, type 3 and type 2S. We'll focus specifically on type 2 restriction enzymes because these enzymes, they recognize specific sequence and cut within that sequence. They also recognize symmetrical sequence. Symmetrical, that is, if you divide the recognition sequence within 2 halves, you can read from both the sides similar sequence. Okay? Whereas type 1, type 3 and type 2S, these are different than type 2 because they bind to particular sequence, that is, their recognition sequence is different and cleavage sites are different. See, type 2, they recognize sequence and cut within that recognized sequence. Other sequences, type 1, 3 and 2S, they recognize one sequence and cut few base pair away from the recognition sequence. Then nomenclature. The first letter of restriction endonucleases, they denote genus name of particular organism from which the enzyme is isolated. Second and the third letter, usually initial letters of organism species name. Fourth letter indicates the strain of organism from which the enzyme is extracted, and the Roman numerals indicate order of extraction from particular organism. For example, EcoR1 enzyme, see this E is the first letter, C second, O third, R is the strain name and Roman 1. So this E encodes the genus Escherichia. CO, second and third letter, encodes species coli. R denotes strain of organism RY13. And Roman 1 encodes number of identification. These are the few more examples and these are their recognition sequences. SMA1, HAE3, HIND3 and BAMH1. These are the sources of organism from which particular enzyme is extracted and this is their recognition sequence. Now here you can see blunt end and sticky end. Now see the specific sequence GAATTC. These two strands, these are two strands of one DNA molecule. GAATTC. These sequences are always read from 5' to 3' direction. And if you see these strands, both the strands from 5' to 3' direction, the sequence is similar, symmetrical. See this GAATTC 5' to 3', and from 5' to 3', this another strand GAATTC. EcoR1 restriction enzyme cut after this first G nucleotide, and here also on the another strand from 5' side it cuts after first G, and this generates fragments like this. These are known as overhangs or sticky ends or staggered ends because these are not equal in size. You can see here, this one is shorter fragment, this one is longer, this one is shorter and this one is longer. See, this EcoR1 is cutting on the both strands of the DNA and generate sticky ends. So this SMA1, the SMA1 sequence, recognition sequence of the SMA1 is 5' to 3' CCC GGG on both the strands. This SMA1 is cutting exactly in between this hexameric sequence and generates equal size fragments. See this CCC GGG. These are known as blunt-ended fragments. Okay. This is another example. See this one, equal size fragments generated. This is the cut site of this particular one is the DNA molecule. This is the cut site of restriction enzyme generating blunt-ended fragments. And this is the cut site of the restriction enzyme generating different length fragments known as sticky ends. These are examples of 4 cutter recognizing 4 base pair sequence, 6 cutter recognizing 6 base pair sequence, 8 cutters recognizing 8 base pair sequence. And this one is unusual one, MWO1 enzyme recognizing longer sequences than these 4, 6 and 8 cutters. So now, how are the restriction enzymes used? Think and write your answer. So these restriction enzymes for experiments that are used, they generate sticky ends. These sticky ends generated are complementary to one another. So when two different DNA fragments are cut, any two DNA cut with the same enzyme can stick together through the complementary base pairing. These are the applications of genetic restriction enzymes in genetic engineering. Molecule A and molecule B. These are the two different DNA molecules from two different organisms. These are cut with the same enzyme BAMH1 so that they generate same ends. Okay, same DNA ends. These BAMH1 generate sticky ends. So since this overhang and this overhang of each DNA molecule is complementary to one another, they can ligate to form a new DNA molecule, and this is known as chimeric DNA. It's introduced into the organism which is known as host organism, where this will generate a new protein. Then the recombinant DNA cloning procedure. This is the target DNA. This one is the target DNA. And this one is the vector DNA. Now this target DNA, it has to be transferred into the organism which is say diseased one or which lack particular enzyme encoded by this target DNA. So this target DNA have to be transferred to the organism with a disease or lacking particular protein. So this target enzyme DNA is cut with the restriction enzyme. Same enzyme is used for cutting the cloning vector. Since both generate same ends, they are ligated together to form a recombinant DNA, and this recombinant DNA using various procedures is transferred to host cell where it is propagated, and from this target DNA proteins are encoded. The summary: we have seen how restriction enzymes work. What is the role of restriction enzymes? What are their types and nomenclature? And